The most effective raid strategy in Pokemon Go to be able to save you time, energy, effort, capitalize on shinies, XL candy, and everything, including the strongest versions of these Pokemon if there are shadow forms out, is going to be all encompassed in this video. So let's break down your most efficient route to 296 XL candy, shinies, shadows, and more in Pokemon Go. So welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. The shiny Guzzlord in Pokemon Go, including some of these other shiny Pokemon like Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, have encouraged me to make this video to make sure that we are all on the same page here. So there are multiple life forms of a Pokemon in the game as far as a legendary raid boss, meaning the first step that comes out for all of these Pokemon is number one, you release the regular Pokemon, right? The regular Pokemon will come out, maybe you'll release it a second time in raid bosses because then they're going to cycle away and potentially come back. The second phase is going to be releasing the shiny form. The shiny form is going to come into raid bosses and probably cycle 1 or 2 or 3 or multiple different times. In the third form, there is going to be a shadow of this legendary released through Giovanni. Giovanni will be able to obtain this Pokemon and you will be able to get 1 encounter, maybe 2 or 3 if you have been stocking the Rocket Radars. If you want to see how to stock the Super Rocket Radars, you can check it out up here. And then eventually, these Pokemon will make their way into Rocket Raids and the shiny shadow version of that Pokemon will come out, as did the Mewtwo, right? So Mewtwo has been there, we've had the Zapdos, we've had the Articuno, and now we are on to the Moltres, okay? So we have all 3 of those Pokemon, but this part of the system is a little bit newer than the older part, and it's a little bit more challenging to be able to take down these Pokemon because they become harder, they have to be subdued, they are shadow, so they're stronger, and unfortunately you can't remote raid to these Pokemon as of right now when this video is being made. Hopefully at some point they will change that over and we will all be able to remote raid together. But as of right now, this is how it sits. So some of us out there might be shiny collectors or hundo collectors or all 3 or shundo collectors, or you're just a raider and you're getting a ton of XP. So each person that I have named may have a different storyline fit to their character. But for the most part, I'm going to give you the most efficient route to be able to optimize these Pokemon. Okay, so number 1, let's figure out how much XL candy you will need to max out this Pokemon, which is going to be 296 XLs for a regular or 360 for a shadow. If you take the absolute bottom most in-person raids for the XL candy, in order to get there, you're going to be able to either remote raid it, which is going to give you a guaranteed 3 XL candy when you catch that Pokemon, or you in-person raid it, which will give you an in-person guaranteed 3, and then once you catch it, it will give you another 3 for a grand total of guaranteed 6. So if we take 296 XL candy and divide it by 6, we're going to take a grand total of 49 raids to be able to get this. So it's not really anything too crazy to be able to get it there. However, let's think about this. The first time a Pokemon usually gets entered into raids, it's about 2 weeks, let's just say on average, so that's 14 total raids. So we're gonna minus this 14 from here, and then we're gonna have 35 if you did 1 raid per day. Then when the shiny comes out, if you did another 2 weeks and you minus 14, that's a grand total of 21 leftover raids that you haven't even done yet. But if you did do 1 free raid every single day that it was available, if it was available for 2 weeks on both ends, you got almost all of the XL candy, and that is only accounting for 6. That does not count if you guys are using a Mega Level 3 and you're getting on average 8 maybe per catch, because if you average 8 on that, that's going to take a grand total of 37 to be able to get it, and then 14 and then 14 for a grand total of 9 raids remaining if you're using the XL candy strategy, which is crazy. And that's not even paying for any raids, that is free raids. And if there is a season where you're getting 2 free raids per day, guys, you're already past this 296 XL candy. That's why raiding in person is so important in this game, to be able to save you money. I'm not saying that I don't love remote raiding, because I absolutely love remote raiding. I'm just saying that you can optimize in person so much easier right now and save you guys a ton of money. So how does the shadow part fit into the raid? Well, as of right now, the Raikou, Entei, and Suicune have been out in raid battles. And what has that gotten me into thinking that, okay, well, yes, these shadow raids are newer. What are the legendaries that are already released that could have a shiny shadow in the future? Because Zapdos is right now. We can have Lugia and Ho-Oh, and then we can also have the Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, and then we can also have the Reggie Trio, okay? So more than likely, the next Pokemon are either going to be Ho-Oh or Lugia for the November raids, for the shadow raids, if they continue this trend, or they're going to start going into the Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. I would technically rather have you guys hunting for a shiny shadow, and even a good quality shadow, because it makes almost all Pokemon stronger and better, than to be going after these raid battles right now, even though you have a lot easier access to them. You have through the entire week. Going on the weekend and paying for some raids, I think is a little bit easier easier when you have these 9 or the 18 raids left, as opposed to doing it where you are just going gung-ho until you get that 100% IV on the raid round number 1, and then raid round number 2, now you need the shiny, so you might maybe get lucky and get in a couple, but maybe it'll take you 20-30 raids to be able to get that shiny. Now you're way in over your head, you have more than enough XL candy, and then the shadow comes into the raids with the shiny. And I know that this time frame is much larger, and this is why I always do the best of the best videos, because if I have something like a Reshiram where I'm like, okay, well the shadow's not even out through Giovanni, it's already extremely strong as this regular Pokemon, you might as well capitalize on this. When it comes to Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, I saw them, I'm like, okay, well Reshiram is stronger than the Entei. If you guys do want to see that playlist, you can check it out up here, the top attackers in Pokemon Go. I break down almost everything you need to know about all of these Pokemon, and so we talk about, okay, well Entei isn't as strong as the Reshiram, and then Raikou, well, it is the strongest electric attacker in the game. It's not that much stronger than is the Zekrom, and if the shadow of that one ever does come out, man, that Pokemon is going downhill. And then as far as Suicune, it doesn't even compete up here. So now we're talking about just rating for shiny hundos, which even if you get a regular hundo, think about it like this, a regular hundo and you have a 10-10-10 shadow, the 10-10-10 shadow will be a stronger and better investment than is the 100% IV non-shadow. Did you hear that? So hunting that magical number, while it is very cool to enter in your Pokedex, it doesn't serve as a functional member of your team as well as a less subpar IV ranked Shadow Legendary. The only one thing that we don't have down is how frequently, how often, what is the schedule for these Shadow raids. But as of right now, I want you guys to start thinking in terms of, okay, brand new Legendary comes out, cool, I'm gonna at least do one free raid every single day and get the XL candy for it with the Mega Level 3 that matches it so I can optimize out on my XL candy. Stage 1, raid 1. Raid stage number 2, shiny gets released. Okay, cool, now I want to get the shiny of this Pokemon, so I'm gonna do at least one raid for free every single day. Maybe I'll do a few extra, but I'm matching that Mega and I'm optimizing the XL candy. By this point, if it's for 2 weeks and you've already done a couple extra each time, you're probably already at 296 XL candy in 2 rounds, which is crazy in-person raiding. Stage 3 is the Shadow raid comes out, and while they are a little rare, they're a little bit harder to coordinate. I highly suggest you guys do attempt to coordinate them. You connect with your local community, you use Campfire, and you start getting raid teams to be able to do this on the weekend, because having a good quality shiny Shadow or even a Shadow Legendary Pokemon is going to be worth it, because not everybody gets good ones from Giovanni, and now is the time to do a little bit extra raids, get more XL candy, optimize those in-person raids, and be able to capitalize fully on everything that you have in Pokemon Go. So if you are trying to optimize the best route to capitalize on XL candy with the shadows and the hundos, guys, this is going to be what I recommend. So thank you guys for being here as always, to all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody takes your support, subscription, and participation to X level. I'm going to see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.